Welcome back to Give It Thought on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to all of you out there, and if it's not Christmas when you watch this, then happy regular day? As always, I'm Jake, and well, 2016 was quite the year, even in the gaming industry. We had some good and we had some bad, so let's take a minute to finally relax this year, sip on some hot chocolate, suck on a candy cane, and take a look back at 2016's top 5 worst gaming controversies. Number 5 is something I didn't really get to talk about much considering all the No Man's Sky news happening at the time, but Bethesda really shot a bullet into a lot of loyal gamers' hearts this year when they changed their review policy. And they changed it for the worst. Now, Bethesda has taken to only shipping review copies of their games one single day in advance of their release. This only gives gaming review outlets at most 24 hours to play through their often sprawling games. And that 24 hours comes in if the reviewer decides not to sleep. In reality, they're getting about 8 to 10 hours with Bethesda's games, which makes them impossible to review in a timely fashion. Think about it. Reviewers will be expected to have reviews up for Elder Scrolls 6 when it releases, whenever that may be. After that short amount of time, it's ridiculous is what it is. And all of this started with the comeback of Doom this year, in which Bethesda first made use of this new policy. The thing is, Doom got good reviews, and it was a fantastic return to form for the franchise, but now Bethesda are using this as reasoning for continuing the policy. What this review policy does is hedge the publisher's bets in assuring no bad reviews will come out ahead of day one sales, which would affect them negatively. I love Bethesda's games pretty much as a whole, but this is a dirty trick you don't even see their competitors like EA doing. I really hope Bethesda wises up and this policy is soon changed. Coming in at number 4 is the CSGO gambling scandal. This whole thing happened before the channel changed formats to cover gaming news, so I didn't talk about this at all. All the way back in July, if you can remember that far back, two extremely popular YouTubers, T Martin and Syndicate, were ousted for owning a gambling website for the game Counter-Strike Global Offensive called CSGOLotto.com. They consistently uploaded videos showing them winning big on the website when in reality they were the ones behind the whole thing. It is really sickening considering these guys were playing to their young demographic and preying on their youthful ignorance. The whole thing was played up even further when T Martin constantly added fuel to the fire by apologizing for, well, he wasn't really apologizing for what he did. He just kind of told people who were duped, tough luck. He said the fact that he was the vice president of the company was public info and that he was not responsible for any money lost. His position was clearly hidden throughout his so-called sponsored videos where he promoted the website of his own creation. Once the info was originally revealed by another YouTuber, Honor the Call, the whole thing quickly burst right into the owners of the website's faces. It was so bad that Valve had to do a crackdown on all gambling websites for their games, considering how easy it would be for other YouTubers to do this. This also led to many bad puns at the time, and speaking of that, anyone want to sign up for the We'll Give It Thought Talk About No Man's Sky Today Lotto.com? There's big money in it for you. I'm so sick of myself. Hitting the midpoint of this list at number 3 is Tracer's butt. This is, well, it's just weird. Even before Overwatch released, it found itself in a scandal, if you want to call it that, where parts of the gaming community demanded that Tracer, Overwatch's arguable mascot, change this pose where her tights were, they were pretty far up there. This is nowhere near the girls at my local gym, but apparently some thought it reduced her character to a sex object. I disagree, but eventually the programmers at Blizzard made the absolute drastic change to this pose. I mean, I can't believe they changed it that much. Joking aside, Blizzard caved to a small percentage of people's loud demands and made Tracer's butt slightly more obscured. This could be seen as a developer listening to fan feedback or Blizzard giving into a vocal minority. Whatever the case, it happened and, well, it happened. Overwatch recently hit the scandal watch once again when it was revealed that Tracer was gay in a Christmas comic. She is shown here kissing her girlfriend Emily in said comic, and once again, a small percentage of people got out their torches and pitchforks over the character. Although this time it was the people of the conservative mindset. I don't know what it is about Tracer, she just can't stay out of trouble. Anyone beginning to think this is on purpose? And hitting number 2 on this list is the Pokemon Go accidents. I don't know what happened to people when this game came out, but they just lost their minds. You had people jumping out of moving cars, getting mugged by other players. There was just no end to the absurdity and danger people were putting themselves in for a while. In case you've been hiding under a rock, in Pokemon Go you are tasked with walking around or driving until one of the world famous pocket monsters shows up on your phone. Then you throw balls to capture them. There's a whole battle system where you can become your own local gym's leader, but I think the main draw for most casual players was the ability to catch Pokemon in augmented reality. One of the weirdest stories surrounding the breakaway hit mobile game was that Bosnia was forced to run notices for players because they were at risk of coming across landmines. Apparently the place is covered in them from the 90s, and Pokemon Go players were happily skipping into places where these weapons of war could still have been buried. Also, in another absurd story, 2 guys walked straight off a cliff in California while playing the game, and that's not even mentioning this video, which blew up showing Pokemon Go players going after a Vaporeon in Central Park. Look at that. Wild. The craze still isn't over because new Pokemon from Generation 2 were recently released, and what? A Pikachu with a Santa hat? Where is the nearest 4-way intersection I can run into? I have to catch that thing. And you guessed it, at number 1 is everything about No Man's Sky that happened around its release. This game sure broke a lot of hearts, including my own for a short amount of time. The game finally released in August of this year after so much hype that, looking back now, there's no way it could have lived up to that. But the whole thing was full of scandals from the day it came out. The biggest thing was when 2 players tried to meet up on a live stream the day after the game released. We were all promised multiplayer, even on something as far-reaching as Stephen Colbert's talk show. But after they found themselves on the same planet, not only did they not see each other, but they saw that it was a different time of day on that planet. But that's just the tip of the iceberg for this game. It saw a 94% drop in players after the first week of release, as well as an uncalculated number of refunds requested. The amount of refunds requested for this game were so high that Steam and Sony had to release public statements about their return policies. And after that, it was revealed that the game was under investigation by the UK Advertising Standards and Authority for false advertising on Steam. And during all this time, the team behind No Man's Sky went completely AWOL and didn't talk to fans for around 2 months, if you don't count when they were allegedly hacked. Things are starting to look a bit better for the game now, but for a good couple of months there, scandal shook Sean Murray and Hello Games to their core. The lesson here, don't lie about what's in your games. You would have thought they learned that from frequent exaggerator Peter Molyneux, but they fell right into the same hole he did. And I think that's where I'm going to end this list. If I missed any scandals that you thought should have been featured, be sure to tell me down below. But that's where I'm going to wrap things up today. I really hope you guys have a good holiday and be sure to spend it with the ones you love. Before that though, be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on Twitter if you feel so inclined. Merry Christmas everyone, and remember, give thought to everything.